Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
For more than half a century, our region's been investing in our best and brightest minority students through NEED, the Negro Education Emergency Drive, which turns out to be the oldest community-based, nonprofit minority higher education assistance program in Pennsylvania. Since its founding in 1963, NEED has supported more than 23,000 young people by providing more than $25 million in grants. Yet many years, there's still not enough money to satisfy the need. The issue is especially critical right now as our region faces the critical challenge of building a pipeline of skilled workers to replace more than 250,000 baby boomers eligible to retire over the next decade or so. Dr. Marcia Sturdivant is president and CEO of NEED, and good to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this is a really interesting organization, started back in the heyday of the civil rights movement, I guess back in the 1950s, but just as relevant today, still as hard to make college ends meet as ever.
Absolutely, and the gap between what parents are able to contribute versus what it costs to send your child to college is growing. So we're certainly important and necessary still today.
So what's your space? I mean, a lot of people are aware of scholarships in general. Maybe they've heard of the Pittsburgh Promise, which really focuses on the city of Pittsburgh. What needs does NEED satisfy?
We satisfy children throughout Western Pennsylvania. So we have kids that we give scholarships to all the way up to Newcastle, Pennsylvania. And we work very closely with the Promise. We consider them one of our partners. But our focus is not just for the students who reside within the city of Pittsburgh. We have branched out to many of the suburban schools to provide assistance to those families as well.
And typically your scholarships are kind of the last dollar in, right?
Yes. Yes, we help families navigate the whole financial process from applying for federal aid, the FAFSA, and also to search for what's available out there. We also work very closely with college financial aid departments to see what kind of financial aid packages they're giving our children and our students, and then we help parents understand the whole process of financing and education. Once we help them with that, whatever is left over, we call it the last dollar, that's where we come in and supply grants for our students.
But you're really working with them through the whole process to identify all the other money you can find first, so you really know what that gap is.
It's the most efficient way of doing it because there are just so many dollars are going around. However, while we don't have all of the funding available, there are other resources that we can tap into.
Now, NEED, the acronym is Negro Education Emergency Drive. Strictly African Americans, minorities in general, or who can, especially for the counseling services, who can take advantage of that?
We are in 23 different schools throughout Allegheny County, and all of our services that we provide in the schools are eligible to every student. So we have students from all backgrounds. We provide tutorial services, academic enrichment, how to apply to college, motivate children to begin to think about college, and all of the things that they have to do to get into college. That's open to everyone within our reach. Now, our scholarships are minority based, so and that's part of our foundation to help African American students because they clearly have a harder time financing a college education just because of income levels of the families that we serve.
Yeah, and it just seems to be getting harder and harder every year because the cost of college goes up so much faster than inflation in general and wages.
Yes, absolutely. Many of our families, their income hasn't risen to the level that college tuitions have risen. And
that would apply to most families.
Most families, yes, that's true too. Yes, absolutely. And residual income, you know, no one really has residual income at that level to be able to afford to send their student or their child to college. And that's why we are certainly needed. Some of the stories that we hear are just heart-wrenching, and any child that we can help, we certainly try to do so.
Now, where does the money come from to do all of this?
We are a generous community. Pittsburgh is generous, and we have a rich history of foundation support, but many of our dollars come from private citizens like you and I, and also our corporate sponsors help us make sure that students who want to achieve the dream of a college education are able to do so.
That's really, so how many kids are you working with in any given year?
Well, we give out about 1,000 scholarships a year to our students, and we work about 4,700 kids, a little over 4,700 students from middle school all the way through high school to prepare them for college.
Wow, really an amazing program, and what a great asset to the community. So if somebody wants to find out, either they're just looking for help planning for college, or they might need one of these scholarships, how do they find you?
You can contact us by our website, www.needld, that stands for lastdollar.org.
Okay.
Or you can just pick up the phone and contact us at 412-566-2760. 412-566-2760.
But Need LD, last dollar.
Last
That's
dollar.
the important thing. Dr.
Right.
Marcia Sturdivant, thank you so much.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much
it.
for having me.
Absolutely. And next up, we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.